Hi, I'm Laura from Noka Games, and I'm here to teach you how to play our new game, KooseKort. The goal of KooseKort is to have the lowest score after 4 rounds of gameplay. To do this, you'll make vertical sets of 3 of a kind, or straights of ascending or descending order, which can then be cleared off your board. Another way to get low points is by building columns with low or negative numbers. These stay on your board and make your final score even lower. Finally, use your 4 specialty cards in each round to be more strategic and go out faster. On that exciting day when you get your first KooseKort box, here's what you'll find inside. To set up the game, the dealer deals 15 cards to each player as well as 4 specialty cards. The dealer divides the remaining cards into 2 draw decks and starts a discard pile between them, which players can also draw from. Then set up your board in a grid of 5 columns with 3 cards each. Next, flip over any 2 cards. Don't overthink it, just pick 2. You then have the option to move one of your flipped cards anywhere on the board to be more strategic. Once the board card is revealed and face up, it is locked and cannot be moved, except when you use a specialty card, such as swap or rearrange, 1 time per round. As we move into the nuts and bolts of how to play, it's important to remember the whole goal of KooseKort, which is to have the lowest points after 4 rounds of gameplay. During your turn, you'll be forming sets of either 3 of a kind or straights, which can be cleared off your board, giving you 0 points. You may also want to build columns with low points. These cards will be out of order and they will stay on your board, helping to give you a lower score. There are 2 important rules you need to know and remember. When it's your turn, the card you draw can be exchanged with any face-down board card and doesn't have to be used to start, continue, or complete a set. This is a good example to show you how Julie purposely picked up that -3 to build a column with low numbers, which will help her score in the end. Another rule is the board card you pick up and reveal must be used to start, continue, or complete a set. If you can't use it, discard. Okay, now let's get into starting the game. The person to the left of the dealer goes first. Draw a card from any of the 3 decks and exchange it with any face-down board card. Use this board card to make or continue forming sets. In this example, my sister Julie has a great flow going because she's able to continue forming several sets and even completed one. When you run out of options and can no longer use a board card in a set, simply discard, remove any completed sets, and the next player goes. Gameplay continues until one person uncovers all their cards and announces they're out. At that point, play continues with each player taking one last turn. Players then turn over any remaining cards, use any specialty cards to complete a set, then give their scores to the scorekeeper. Now that round 1 is complete, the player clockwise to the dealer deals next. Play 3 more rounds. After 4 rounds, the player with the lowest score is the winner. scoring is pretty straightforward, but here are a few things to keep in mind. Wild cards count as 0 in scoring. Also, if the player who went out first in any round has a score greater than 0, it must be a score lower than any other player, or 10 points will be added to their score. It doesn't happen often, but if someone clears their whole board during their first turn on any round, this is called a KooseKort crush. The game is then immediately over for everyone, and that player wins. And to add to the fun, there are 7 wild cards in the deck that can be used as any number. Specialty cards add a strategic layer to the game and make everything so much more interesting. Let's take a look at Rearrange first. This specialty card is practical and handy. Use it when you are trying to form a set but it's out of order. Simply show the card, flip it over, and rearrange your cards. Then continue forming sets if you can. If not, discard. Next, let's look at Swap. This card is just what it sounds like. It allows you to swap any board card one time during a round. In this example, Julie is strategically using it to free up the wild card so she can complete a set and go out. Next, the Undercover card allows you to pick up the card underneath the last card discarded. Simply show that you are using it, turn it over, and continue playing. And finally, the No Thanks card is used when you turn a card over on your turn, and instead of exchanging it with the one in your hand, you decide to keep the board card in place and not exchange it. Let's look at another example. Scott picks up a wild card and uses it to complete a set, but then he sees the board card he flipped, a 6, is what he needs, so he says no thanks and continues playing. Okay, you're all set. Now go play! Thanks for watching from all of us here at Noka Games.